It's the most wonderful time of the year. The Stanley Cup's gleaming, the coaches are scheming, the Dallas Stars live in fear. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Avs take game one. Vibes are immaculate. Let's start the show. Is a way to start a series. Welcome into the DNVR Avalanche podcast presented by Bet365. The post game even as the Avs win 5-1 in game one over the Dallas Stars to take a 1-0 series lead and erase the home ice advantage for Dallas. I don't think the score really reflects the nature of the game. There was an empty netter and a meaningless goal at the end of the game, but still, Avs never trailed in this game. Once they got the lead, they never relinquished it. And their one goal they give up is on a power play. So no goals given up on 5-on-5. I'm not saying the Avs can't play better than that because I do think they can, but that's a pretty darn good package for game one, no?
Start on the road against a very good team, and you win it. So when you do that, mission accomplished. I mean, to start the playoffs right. I say it all the time, score first is a big deal. It's a big deal in my book, always has been, always will be. So it's the same thing for winning game one. It's a big deal for me. I'm not telling you it's, well, last year the Avalanche lost the first game. No, I get that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if the Avalanche win the first game, I like their chances. And you did that on the road. Rudo says it all the time. It's never a series till somebody loses a game on home ice. We got a series, right? And this is where we're at. Mission accomplished for tonight. You never trailed, like you said. You take the lead. You're up 1-0. Tomorrow, you address a few things, and Monday you're back at it for game two before you get back to Denver. So I like where it went. Overall, great job by the Avalanche and everybody involved. And I do believe the better team won tonight. But you're right. It didn't feel like a 5-1 game, but I do believe the better team won today on the ice.
Hockey's a funny sport sometimes.
Yep.
The Avs out-attempted in shots Dallas in every period. At 5-on-5, they outshot them in every period. And you can pick and choose and find things you don't like about every single period if you want to. But the underlying numbers of this is sustainably good hockey from the Colorado Avalanche, particularly on the back end. The Avs gave up 13 shots at 5-on-5 in this game. Just 13. That is elite caliber defense. And should Dallas is missing blah, blah, blah. Yeah, we know. It happened to the Avs year after year after year too. Sucks for Dallas. I wish they were healthy and I wish the Avs could beat them in full health. But they're not. And the Avs are taking advantage of that by dominating.
For sure. I mean, again, you hear Bednar since training camp. Got to be able to check. If you want to win, we want to win. We want to check. Check. And that when you check right, you don't give up much. It goes hand in hand. I don't care what people say. Like, it's very simple. If you don't check well, then you're going to give up a lot more in the Avalanche. And you know what? Tonight, McKenzie was there for when they messed up. McKenzie was there for every time.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that one goal that gets through, it's like a ping pong, lacrosse ball going in. I mean, I had no idea. So, yeah, the Avalanche checked. They gave up limited chances. Won the scoreboard. Won each period?
First was tied.
Oh, that's right, 0-0. Yeah. So never trailed in the game. So I think it's very important. Very important. So very satisfied what they showed us. And it starts with the checking game. And when you give up, like you said, those numbers don't lie. You don't give up much. Usually it's because you checked really well as individuals and as a team.
I I really don't want to say much, if anything, negative about this game, but to tell the story of the game, we do have to start with the Avs getting a 5-on-3 power play and failing to score on it. Don't love that.
No.
There's no two ways around that bush. They get away with it in part because Mackenzie Blackwood comes up huge on the ensuing penalty kill than they do have against Dallas. Yeah. And their power play does come through later in the game, so you don't feel like their special teams was a disaster. But hey, if the Avs are looking for places to improve, I think the word you love to use is urgency on that 5-on-3.
Listen, it's a dream scenario what they had tonight. You're on the road. Few minutes into the game, you're given a 5-on-3. I mean, you're talking about a silver platter. Like, here it is. So now for the McKinnons of the world, McCarrs, like the skill guys, it doesn't get any better than that. Because you still got fresh ice, you got fresh legs, and then you're given an opportunity. We talk about no-nos on the show all the time. You don't capitalize on your 5-on-3. Usually ends up biting you in the butt somewhere, somehow at the end. And it didn't tonight because, like you said, we're not being negative. We're saying one of the negative things. You got to execute. You got to find a way to put the puck in the net. I'm going to give my answer right now. We're going to move on from the special team today on the power play. But dirty and greasy is what works in the playoffs.
Look at that first goal. Yeah.
Look at going to the net, the other goals. Like, it's just, I'm sorry. Mac on that goal. It's not like it's a beautiful goal. He shoots the puck, it hits Lyubushkin and flips and goes in the net. So dirty and greasy works. Trying to make the perfect play doesn't work. And that's kind of what I was saying about, God, they're stubborn with their game right now. They're stubborn with their plays on the power play. Didn't bite them in the butt, which is nice.
They got there eventually. It
they got away with it.
Stubborn, right?
And then that 4 minutes, they made him pay, right?
Yep.
Was that Rupe Hintz? Yeah.
Yep.
So all of a sudden, that would have been a tough one if they don't score there. That would have been okay. This
now
is not meant to be
now you're
tonight.
hurting yourself.
Yeah, you're hurting yourself. Yeah. So, other than that, not a lot of negatives to say about this game, that's for sure.
The only other real negative in chat I saw was bringing it up. Ross Colton, he on the shift chart, he played 15 seconds in the first minute of the third period and then was not on the bench and did not return to the game. Obviously, details are unknown. It's the playoffs, so if you think you're going to get details from the Avs, you're wrong. We're going to have to fly a little bit blind on that. But if Ross Colton does have to miss some time, of course, that's unfortunate for the Avs. You want to be as healthy as possible. I will say, and maybe I'm manifesting this a little bit more than anything, if Ross Colton goes out and Gabe Landeskog goes in, are you really any worse?
No, I mean, yeah, God. No one's going to talk about that. No offense to Ross. Like, Ross Colton wasn't there if Gabe Landeskog plays. So here's what I'll say. I'm not a doctor. I only play one on TV. No privy information. Yeah, you're right. Someone's going to ask that at the presser tonight. What about Ross Colton? And then he's going to be like, yeah, I'm not going to get into it. Oh, he's going to say, I don't know. I haven't talked to our trainers yet. Whatever. I'm not making fun of coach. I'm just saying it's just what I would say too. Yeah. Here's the doctor in me that will say, unless he's got an illness and you tried, to go one more shift in the third, then he's not playing Monday. You know what I mean? When you're in the playoffs and
if you
your body's warm, exactly. Your body's warm. It's not like, precautionary, we got him out, in a 2-0 game at the time or 1-0, whatever it was. Yeah. So doesn't boil well. Hopefully it's nothing serious, but very rare is an athlete not going to finish the third period and 35 hours later or whatever it is. You know what I mean? Like 36 hours
LBI
later.
Apparently, according to the chat.
Exactly.
That's all you're going to get.
Again, perfect. That's my point. So it's obviously he's probably not going to be available. Yes.
Yeah. And that's like the end of the list for negatives, really, in this game. I think there are players that maybe didn't play great, and it didn't matter because even their poor players played pretty well, and the guys who were playing their best picked those guys up. And the Avs, as a team, I know some people are going to disagree with me. I genuinely believe in every single period the Avs were the better team. Certainly at 5-on-5.
I think there was no question they were the better team. I think if you look in the body of work, period by period, the Avalanche were the best team each period.
Yep.
I
agree.
The numbers say it right there.
Yep.
Underlying numbers. I mean, the eye test says it. I think the The score says it. Every category that you're looking at says it. So I like the Avalanche game. I do. I like mostly every individual's game.
Yep.
Is there more gear for Val? I mean, I'm harsh on Val. Like is there another gear to Val's game? Absolutely. Is there another gear to even Marty's game, even though he's flying with the puck?
The gears were running. Some of the puck decisions I didn't love.
That's right. The gears were,
yeah, he also had an assist tonight.
Yeah.
This is more about how high the Avs ceiling is than the poor play tonight.
That's it. And, I think the 6Ds, EJ, love him. He's one of my favorites. Couple shifts there. It started with a poor clear from, was it Lindgren or whatever? And then next thing you know,
yeah. I mean, there was
EJ with him on that shift there, or was that two separate shifts?
No, EJ was before.
No, before.
Yeah.
Again, that's a tough shift. And, you get pinned down. It didn't cost them.
Yep.
So that's the beauty of it. That's where McKenzie was good tonight, is whenever they came unglued a little bit, McKenzie was there. He was certainly there in that sequence of 2-3 shots there right before the second goal, correct? Or the third goal? Or
first goal and third goal, both.
But there was a sequence of
Yeah, but that was the first goal.
That was a first goal. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, right before he's like he's a Euro. They know how to play soccer, buddy.
It's true. Those Euros got the feet. They got the
If this guy was North American, I would have told you. No. But the Euro, that's a kicking motion. The league missed it. Go back and look at it. I'm kidding. No, again, that's a goal. That's pure. But again, you get greasy, you get dirty. That's what happens when you go to the net. You go to the greasy area in playoffs if you want success.
Let me dig a little bit deeper into that first goal, because I do think this is an interesting conversation, because no one's going to sit here and tell you, oh, what a great play. Yeah, he got lucky. He got a lucky bounce. Absolutely. But like you said, players who do the right things usually get rewarded with good luck.
Yeah.
If he's standing in the corner doing nothing, that puck's not going to bounce in off of him. And that's how it works. And this is the game. This is exactly the game that I meant when you talk about the Avs flipping the switch. It's them doing the right things, them going to the right areas, them winning the puck battles. It's the details of the game that simply require effort. The Avs flipped the switch. They turned it on. They get rewarded for it tonight.
You said it. You told me 2 weeks ago when I was having a meltdown one night. Not a meltdown. You
were just a little concerned.
Just a little concerned. And you know why? Because I go back to 1998. I told you. And we were told, stop. If you think you're going to put the switch on, you won't. And they were right. We didn't. This is a different group. This is
core
different.
Built different. Yeah.
Yeah, this is core. It's a little different. And it's more the human side of things, where they knew where they were at. But like you play like a game like tonight, even McKenzie, we talked about him before the game. And I know we'll talk about him later.
We will.
I'm saying it's, McKenzie was awesome. So there was a lot of guys that had a lot to prove, and to their teammates and to themselves, and especially guys that were not there in 2022. I'm telling you, that makes a difference. And it's like, you feel it because you're like, yeah, I'm not part of this group until I'm one of them. You know what I mean? And I'm one of them. You know what I mean? Meaning like a Stanley Cup winner. Yeah. So I think you have a lot to give and a lot to do. And that's what they've been doing. And again, it's hard to be negative about tonight. Dallas Stars are a good team. Jake Onger was okay. He wasn't the greatest. He was okay.
I think he had stretches of good.
He was stretches good and stretches of, he's fighting it a little bit.
The rebound control was rough at times.
Yep. And I think on the bench you see that. And when you see that, you start talking about it on the bench, right? Come on, boys, look at him. He's fighting it. Throw it at him. Throw at his feet. And, you skate by and don't think that guys don't give it to goalies when they skate by.
They do.
Yeah. They do. If microphones could catch that stuff, it would be unbelievable, which they do sometimes. But, you want to try to take any competitive edge you might have. And tonight, it sounded like the Avalanche were competitive in pretty much every area of the game.
Again, really hard for me to find too many negatives.
Yeah.
Chat, you've already got us to nearly 170 likes. Thank you so much. These are our first winner shots. Let's get us to 200. Come on, you can do more. Appreciate you. Dr. Dubs, starting off the playoffs right. Oh, it feels good. It feels good, Chad.
And Randy, this is not iced coffee. This is a warm coffee. I couldn't find a cup, so it's like a measuring cup.
Eric's rocking like 1 hour of sleep in the last 48 hours right now.
Those delays at the airport were terrible.
We do have to pay some bills before we jump into some of those stars. So let's jump over and get that done as, of course, today's show, we've got our favorite right here. Ice cold Blue Mountain Coors Light. Go get yourself some Coors Light. Choose chill today. The Avs officially 1-0 as we have done the watch along presented by Coors Light. We'll be doing more of those. You better believe it. Jump in with Coors. Of course, you don't even have to go anywhere. Of course, if you're at the bar, get Coors Light. If you're at the game, get Coors Light. But if you're at home on your couch, you can go to CoorsLight.com/DNVR and get it delivered right to your front door, thanks to Instacart. That's right. You don't even have to give up. Get up. You can be completely lazy bum like me, sitting at the computer all day, watching hockey all day. You can still get your Coors Light delivered. So choose chill. I'm hoping this was the last snow of the season. So it should be like grill out time too. If you want to get Coors Light, that should be an option for you too. Make sure you're checking out Coors Light, even if it's at your local liquor store or at home at CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Choose chill, of course. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Please drink responsibly. And then the other side of this, make sure you're getting with Game Time. Make sure you want to actually go to the games. You want. Look, I'm not going to lie to you. Hockey tickets are expensive normally. In the playoffs, they're ridiculously expensive.
Yeah.
So if you want the best prices, you got to go to Game Time. You can get $20 off your first purchase in the Game Time app with code DNVR when you sign up. Of course, terms apply for that, but look for all their deals, whether it's last second deals, whether it's getting in on specials. You can do zone deals where you pick a zone to sit in and they'll pick your ticket to save money. You can use their Game Time Picks feature, which will filter out all the junk and only show you the best tickets for the best prices when you are searching. Any way you go about it, Game Time is the way to do it. And the best part, you find tickets cheaper somewhere else, Game Time will reimburse your account 110% of the ticket price. So they guarantee you'll get the best tickets at Game Time. You don't even have to be Avs too. If you want to go to a Nuggets playoffs game, pop off. If you want to go to the Rockies to not watch the Rockies and enjoy the best bar in Denver, pop off. You want to go to the concerts and theaters around town, go to those too through Game Time. Where was the concert you went to, Tiff? There you go. Ogden, the Bluebirds just down the street from the DNVR bar. Bunches of options. Do it with Game Time.
Colfax has so many venues.
They really do.
Between the Ogden and the Fillmore and the Bluebird. Yeah, there's just so much you can find on Game Time.
Do it. Get with them. What time is it? Technically, it's post-game time. But to get your tickets, it's Game Time.
Game Time.
Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Are we good to go with 3 stars?
Love that.
All right,
Favorite
let's
segment.
jump in. Star number 3, Mayerwood. Logan O'Connor, the only depth forward to have a 2-point night, picks up 2 assists. While you were watching it live, you shouted at him out twice on both goals. One of them's the extra goal that doesn't really mean a whole lot, but still, you have Logan O'Connor stepping up in a critical area on that third goal. I know it's a nice play from Manson to Toews to set it up in the zone, but none of that comes to fruition. You don't get that insurance goal without Logan O'Connor's play.
Firm believer that you win series and you win games in the playoffs by winning the battles along the wall. And that's where Logan excelled tonight. He was smart. Puck management was great. But he won those battles. He won those 50-50 battles. He won those one-on-one battles along the wall. And when you do that, you tend to have a little bit of success if you're Logan O'Connor. Logan O'Connor is never going to wow you. And again, we see, I'm not saying that in a bad way, but you know what I mean? On a 2-on-1 or a Michigan goal, Logan O'Connor is going to get productive and get production and give you everything he has by making plays like tonight. Those dirty, greasy assists along the wall. The mayor of Denver, the kickback machine, bodes well for the bottom of the lineup to get, like you said, a multi-point night on the road against a very good Dallas Stars team. It gives you confidence. And if you're Logan and the rest of the team, mission accomplished tonight on that sense.
And I want to give credit to the full fourth line here, too. Yep. O'Connor's specific possession numbers are a little bit lower because he stepped up. He was playing some third line in that third period with Ross Colton out. But Jack Drury and Parker Kelly finished the night with Corsi for percentages of over 90%. The fourth line was on the ice for one shot attempt against.
Why?
For the whole game.
Why?
Domination. They just outwork them. They work harder than you.
And it's North-South game. They don't. There's no stubbornness there and playing East-West. They play North-South because that's what their talent level is. Jack's got a little bit more in his tool bag there. You saw that on that last play to Jack.
For sure.
To Charlie
Cute little pass.
That's not by accident. That was on purpose. So this is a guy that knows where he's at. Boy, oh boy, that line's fun. And that's why when they're talking about Landeskog and everything coming back, all that kind of stuff, and people were saying like, oh, Kelly would be the guy out. And man, it's hard as a coach because, again, it's the hard problem to have when everyone's healthy. But when you have Kelly, Logan, and what's his name there, Jack Drury, and they're humming and
Dominance.
they're going. Hey, it's like you just said, those numbers, Corsi numbers, numbers on the score sheet with points, momentum shifts. Boy, oh boy, it's tough to break that up. You don't want to.
You're not like I'm saying. If you're whether it's Miles Wood or Gabe Landeskog coming in for Ross Colton, you're slotting him in on the third line. You do not touch that fourth line.
And again, I was so critical of Miles Woody, right, all year long. I know he's not playing with, probably not 100% fully healthy, but you got to give Randy, his dad, Miles, a lot of credit. The last few games he played, not because he had some points, but he looked a lot better. He looked good. It's not something he didn't do lately. That's how good the fourth line's been. Because if you're Bednar, and we all know he ain't touching the cat, meow, you know what I mean? Like, what are you going to do? You know what I mean? So he's keeping Kelly, O'Connor, and Drury. Yep. And then wait your turn and see what happens.
Yep.
And that's it. And be a good guy, and we'll see what happens. But I wanted to say is praise Miles a little bit and not bash him.
No,
because it's
absolutely, yeah.
No one has given up their spot because everybody's been so good at the bottom of the lineup.
And if you go in, you're going to fight tooth and nail to keep your spot, and let alone it be in the playoffs. Star number 2, Blackwood. 3-point night for Nathan MacKinnon. Casually, yeah, one of them's an empty net goal.
What'd you call O'Connor?
Mayorwood.
Gotcha. Macwood. All right. You know me, it's a little too small.
Hey, that is tiny text for you, for sure. You could probably read the chat in this studio.
Yeah,
it's pretty big.
I gotta squint a little bit, but I'm getting there.
What do we say in pregame? Your best players have to be your best players. If we're being honest, Cale Makar was just okay tonight.
Yeah, and that's why I'm kind of excited. I think Max got another gear too. Yeah.
Was this Max A game? Absolutely not. And he had a 3-point night.
Yeah. Again, it's the empty net there because he does the right things. It's the production on the power play that he gets. The goal he gets because he shot the puck. I don't care. He shot the puck. It goes off Labushkin, and then
you can't score unless you shoot
the puck. And then obviously, the Lehkonen, goal, which Mac was flying. Max, you could tell, had some good legs.
Yeah.
You could tell his legs he had some pace to his game. He was excited. He took one for the team there, right?
Yep. 4
minutes, right? Is that the one that they scored on?
That is, yes.
Yeah. So he puts his big beaker in the way there and he gets it, boom, right in the nose, 4 minutes. But Nathan MacKinnon, you're going to go as far as Nathan MacKinnon's going to carry you, but there's another gear in that book.
Very, very simple thing. How often have we asked the Avs to shoot the puck?
Yeah.
And how often have we asked the Avs to hit the net?
Yeah.
Nathan MacKinnon, 8 shot attempts tonight, 6 shots on goal.
What was Cale? Can you show me right now?
10 shot attempts. His shots on goal were only 2. So Makar was shooting, but not hitting the net.
Not hitting the net, getting tipped.
Yep.
And that was the difference in my book. That's why he does have another gear. But yeah, MacKinnon, you know what? He showed up. You're on the road. Now you're taking the scoring lead in the NHL, right? Well, there's a couple of Winnipeg guys at 3 points. Perfect. Yeah, doesn't matter. What I'm saying is you're there at the top. Probably have a day off tomorrow. Duplicated Monday. He gets another 3-point Monday. The Avs are coming home 2-0.
By the way, MacKinnon scored his 50th playoff goal today.
How many games?
Impressive stuff. I'd have to. It's like 70 something. I don't know the exact number, but
That's pretty good.
yeah.
When the stakes are high, the intensity is really high. You got 50 and 70? Pretty good.
And star number 1, make no doubt, Blackwood. Unbelievable performance from it. I don't know that he could play any better. That was an awesome performance from Mackenzie Blackwood. And this was not a 24-shot game where, he had an easy night. Dude made multiple big time saves, especially on power plays for the Avs. Mackenzie Blackwood was bailing this team out tonight. That is the type of stuff that makes you go, we do not want to play against the Colorado Avalanche.
No, exactly. And Blackwood, we were talking about it before the game because you asked me, raise them. Where do you have a flag that's raised, right?
Yeah,
About this team.
I thought it was fair.
I was like,
absolutely.
For me, it was like, I love them. We all knew what I was thinking of Georgiev. I'm not here to talk about Georgiev. I'm saying that they needed to do a change, and the guy we wanted them to get was Blackwood.
His game was so good. 2 of his sequences literally led directly to Avalanche goals.
Exactly. So I love the response. Joseph was talking about it before the game. I said, listen, I'm not saying I don't have confidence in him. I love him. And he's shown me tonight why I love him. But I wanted to see Mackenzie that we saw the first month and a half here. I didn't like a little bit of his demeanor these past couple weeks. Now, was he falling in the same trap as the rest of the team like we talked about? Like you said, you can turn on, maybe. But I just didn't like some of the rebound control, the demeanor. He looked defeated a little bit. And I was like thinking, is it because the pressure's getting to him of the playoffs, right? He's never done it. I don't care that he's never done it. That's not what I'm saying. Is I can't judge him. I've never seen him in those situations. So I don't know what to compare it to. So I love the way he responded tonight. He told me that he can play in the playoffs. He told me that he wants to be a part of this. And he told me, and again, not just me, I'm saying my concerns. I wasn't saying I don't like him. I love him. You know that. And yeah, somebody in chat was saying like, is he starting game 2? He's starting every game unless he gets hurt. We're knock on wood. No, this is your guy. This is their guy. There's no ifs and buts. And if he plays like tonight, and there was like 2 or 3 sequences where he makes 2 to 3 saves, and that's what the Avalanche need him to do. And when he does that, the Avalanche are in great shape.
All right. Those are our 3 stars of the game. Mackenzie Blackwood, the UC Health Live Extraordinary Player of the Game, 100% deserved. I want to temper expectations a little bit. Blackwood is not going to be a .950 goaltender for the entire playoffs. But if he can be a quality goaltender for the Avs, I don't want to get ahead of myself. It's game 1. So I won't go crazy with it. But the Avs are going to be really hard to beat. The Avs are going to be really hard to beat if Blackwood can play to that level. We do have a couple minutes here before we hit our break. So very quickly, I wanted to ask you, unsung hero of this game. Taking a page out of AJ's book, stealing from his studs and duds a bit. Who's the guy that quietly had a great night for you?
Here's what I'm going to say. I love what he brings. He's the whiskey drinker on the back end. He hasn't been hurt. I mean, he's been hurt. I didn't like that penalty. They ended up scoring.
I do want to talk about this. Yeah.
But I like Josh's presence was felt. He makes the big play there. Hey, listen, that is a huge play. But I noticed him. I noticed him for the wrong reasons when he kind of Marchman was trying to sell it though, but
there was some selling. There.
I like what he brought.
I
love Josh's game tonight. Is it perfect? No, but there's something about what he brings that's different than the others. Obviously, they've added Lindgren and stuff like that, but he popped a few guys. He gets involved, and then he makes a huge play offensively.
And that's
my guy tonight.
Was the penalty a mistake? Absolutely,
for sure.
It was a mistake.
Yeah,
but you pay Josh Manson because he lives on that edge. That's what he does. That's what you want him to do in the playoffs. And then he answers. He knows he screwed up. Yep. He steps up and gets the primary assist on what ends up being the insurance goal.
Loved it.
Huge. That type of mentality, having the mental toughness to be able to get out of that penalty box, know you just let Dallas back into the game and bounce back and play a key play in this game. Huge. Ridiculously huge. From Josh Manson. All right, let's pay a few bills here, and then we can keep rolling along. of course, I love playoff hockey, dude. It's so fun. I just had to get that in there. The official partner of the Colorado Avalanche and us here at DNVR, not just partner, but vehicle, is Toyota. Make sure you jump in, go find your favorite Toyota, whatever it might be. Josh Manson, dude probably drives a Tundra, all right? He's the big truck guy. He's
like
hauling stuff around.
Yeah.
He's running people over.
Yep.
If you're LOC, you know what? You're probably you're a little bit of a smaller car. I mean, bigger than he looks, but
Maybe a sedan. I don't know.
you think so? You think he's the Corolla, just the engine that
He's the
never
mayor.
dies,
He's the
300K miles on it, just
Yeah,
keeps rolling? All right, I'm
mayor.
good with that. I'm not going to argue with that. Whatever it might be, Toyota has a vehicle for everyone. They have 17 different all-wheel drive vehicles, 16 different hybrid or electric vehicles, which is the most of anyone in class. So make sure you go check that out. They're also running a little bit of a deal. You can get in on the drive into the playoffs with Toyota. Enter now for your shot at winning incredible prizes, including playoff tickets, a private suite experience for you and your friends, a flyaway adventure to see a Nuggets playoff game on the road, or a chance to drive away in an all-new epic 2025 Toyota 4Runner. Go get with them. Make sure you're getting it with your Toyota dealerships. They're an official vehicle of us here at DNVR and an official vehicle of the Colorado Avalanche and the DNVR Nuggets. You know, that too. Make sure you head to your Front Range dealerships, including AutoNation Toyota, Rapid Centennial, Corwin Toyota, and Boulder Grove Toyota, and Littleton, Mount States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Again, Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places. And once you've got yourself in your Toyota and you're going where you want to go, make sure you get with Bet365. Colorado Parlay, hit. The boosted bet, we needed a Val goal. We came up a little short on the boosted bet for a Val goal, but I did say I've been predicting a Lecky goal for a while. If you got it on that, would have hit. You took the Avs to win, would have hit. Not bad. Not bad night. Go get with Bet365. You can bet on all of the Avs playoffs. You can bet on other teams. You can bet on the Nuggets playoffs. They've got everything at Bet365. Whatever it is you're feeling like betting on, including against the Rockies. I will allow that. Good money betting against the Rockies. Make sure you get in with Bet365 today. That DNVR code, when you put $10 in your account, bet $5 on anything, they'll give you $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. That's code DNVR365 to get $150 in bonus bets. Jump in today. And of course, when you do gamble at Bet365, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. And if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast, as it is time, just in time, in fact, to go with J Mike, presented by Bet365. Justin, thank you for calling in with us. The Avs, is he there? Okay. Avs officially 1-0 in the playoffs in the J Mike era. Hell of a game. How did it feel in person?
It was awesome, man. The atmosphere was electric. Obviously, the Stars fans are very much intense, but I thought the Avs really responded. You know, obviously the history says Dallas is able to come back from, you know, kind of stumbling here out of the gate, and there's even a couple of examples of that with the Avalanche and the Stars going into Dallas winning Game 1. So I don't want to, you know, get too carried away or anything like that, but to come out and have this type of performance, especially, you know, from Mackenzie Blackwood with all the chatter about, you know, no playoff experience and is he going to be able to live up to the moment? We saw tonight, you know, he lived up to that moment. And I just thought there were so many encouraging things about this performance, from Blackwood to how they played in the neutral zone to, you know, MacKinnon getting a power play goal. I was going through the numbers. He only had one the last 2 years.
Yep.
So I just think that all signs are that this team is, you know, kind of firing on all cylinders and playing their best hockey at the most important time of the season.
So give me a grade off the top of your head for tonight. How B+, A-? That's kind of where I'm at. Are you in the same range, or do you think it was even better than that?
I'd give it a solid B+, A-. Yeah, I'm right there with you. I felt like there were maybe some missed opportunities early to kind of capitalize. They were skating, they were flying around, but just sloppy passes, couple of opportunities to maybe capitalize on an odd man rush. And if you make the pass, maybe it's a goal. Instead, you know, it's sitting there, a 1-goal game in the third period. So it feels funny to say that about a 5-1 win, but I really do think they maybe left a little bit of meat on the bone. But all things considered, in this type of setting on the road, I don't know if you could ask for a whole lot more.
The Avs definitely have another gear. You guys are right. Or 2 or 3 more gear.
Yeah, let's not get ahead of ourselves.
They do. They got way more gears hitting in there. Couple things. Did you bring your binoculars out? So, I mean, chat, just so you guys know, that's the highest press box in the league. Like, that thing is like 7 miles up in the air. So I warned J Mike before, bring your binoculars.
Yeah, it's a bit of a challenge. I did bring them. It's hard with the old spectacles, I look like a dork up there. But it was fun, man. It was cool to see. It was packed up in that press box. I heard a couple people say that this is the most press they've seen for a round 1 series, in this building. And it kind of speaks to the excitement that there is for this series and this matchup between these two teams, right? And yeah, like maybe a little bit high in the sky. But when you're watching the Avs cruise and you're sipping on free soda and eating snacks and stuff, there's not much to complain about.
And speaking of that, don't forget, you get off the elevator, take a right there. There's a freezer and ice cream bars, buddy. Just remember that one.
Oh, got to get a sweet treat, right? Like it's game 1 vibes. Got to treat ourselves. Got to live in the moment.
Ice cream bars right there, Rudo.
This game felt a little bit like a sweet treat. J Mike, what was the vibe in the locker room? How did the Avs feel like they played their best, or did they feel like they had more to give?
It was honestly a pretty, I guess I would just say that it seems like the reaction was this was business as usual. Like, this is what they should have done. There wasn't a whole lot of patting ourselves on the back. We kind of asked MacKinnon about Blackwood and just kind of, what his thoughts were on it. And he was like, he went out and he just played hockey. And Blackwood kind of said very similar things about, he didn't try and change too much. And again, like it's game 1. We don't want to take too big of a conclusion here from it. But I will say, just based on the demeanor, based on how this team responded, they seem locked in. And there is a belief here that this team can go very far. And I think you see that with the way they're carrying themselves.
You grew up with my era of hockey, so you're used to maybe a more physical brand of hockey. We saw the Avs step that up quite a bit in this game tonight. Can Colorado sustain that? Can they continue to play a physical brand of hockey and also stay healthy with, obviously, Ross Colton leaves the game? Not that he was particularly physical, but injuries have always been a bit of a bugaboo for Colorado.
I mean, I think it's certainly a concern based on the history. Like, can they play with that type of intensity and physicality every single game? Maybe that ends up being a little bit of a stretch for this group, especially given just some of the bigger, more physical guys they lean on are a little bit up there in the years and have a little bit more tread on those tires. But I thought it was huge. And I think it really set the tone tonight, especially with the way they were skating and the pace they were playing with, for them to also, lay the wood a little bit and kind of show we're not going to get pushed around here. We're not going to get bullied. We're not just the finesse team that had struggles, these past couple of years. And there were a lot of factors, obviously, in those postseason struggles. I don't need to list through 8 million things you guys have already talked about. But I do think that is going to be one of the big factors, particularly in this series. Like, if the Avs are going to escape it and this is not going to get prolonged, then I think that's a big factor. And I'm really interested to see game 2, especially, possibly with some of the injury stuff tonight. Maybe that's what allows Landeskog to rejoin that third line.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, like, did you feel that it was kind of crazy before the game and the weight and the anxiety to see if he was going to play? And, I know all Avs fans or people that cover the Avs, but did you feel that, like, even from different teams that, or the Dallas people that were on the press box and just kind of looking down like, is he playing, not playing? Like, kind of crazy.
Yeah, I think by the time we were close to game time, the writing was kind of on the wall. But especially like morning skate, and he's one of the first guys out on the ice, and he's moving well, and he's passing the puck with EJ and stuff. Like, there was definitely a lot of, is he going to do it? Is he not? I wasn't shocked that he didn't play, but I do think that's still a big factor in this series, is the potential just adrenaline rush and emotional spark that can come with somebody as significant as Landeskog, somebody who's as beloved as he is, and obviously he's a hell of a hockey player too. But beyond like what he potentially brings to the third line, which is, I mean, I don't know if you're going to find a third liner in the league with his type of, resume and skill.
Yeah.
I just think it's the emotional boost that he's going to provide. And, Pete DeBoer didn't like it when I asked about him, although it was kind of funny because I asked him very generally and he got upset about it. He's like, that's an Avalanche question. But if you want to ask me about our guy that's coming back. So I'm like, so yes, it can provide an emotional spark. That's what you're saying. You just don't want to talk about their emotional spark. But, Bednar, when I asked him about it, he said it's quantifiable. And I think that's going to be something that, potentially shifts the game. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but
No, it matters.
It just feels like a storyline. It feels like a Disney movie.
At 100% Disney storyline. Absolutely. Bang on there. Final thoughts here, Justin, and then we'll let you get out of here.
Yeah, I think they did what they needed to. I like that it wasn't a whole lot of rah, look at us go, people doubted us, oh, look at us now. It was just kind of like, this is what this team came to Dallas to accomplish. And now, obviously, if you can go up 2-0 coming home, that's potentially series changing here. So how do you respond? What type of intensity do you come out with, especially early in that game too? I feel like if you could put up a couple of quick goals and maybe take the crowd out of it right away, all of a sudden, this team feels like they're cooking with some gas and it could establish some real momentum here. And, I just think back to 2022, and I do think there is something to trying to get those wheels rolling a little bit and stacking a couple of wins and especially given the injury history and stuff, maybe not having to grind a 6 or a 7 game series. And I'm not trying to get too overreactionary. And I know I've said that a couple of times now because I fully expect a great response. And I think Dallas, they didn't play a game that would probably deserve a 5-1 loss. So, I think they
would
really
agree,
right there in it. But I can't ask for a whole lot more, right? We wanted to see a spark from this team. We wanted to see them put some goals on the board, and we wanted to see a goaltending effort that would at least give us the encouragement and the belief that this team is capable of making the run that we all hoped for.
The hope is definitely there. Certainly a great way to start it. Justin, thank you for calling in just in time live from Dallas. We appreciate the call in. Justin also did more work than just call in tonight. He was in the pressers. He was talking to Jared Bednar. We're going to go to Coach now and see what Jared had to say about a fantastic win for his Avs.
All right, go ahead. Questions for head coach Jared Bednar. Jesse?
Coach, you told us, I think it was earlier this week, that you weren't worried about Arturi Lehkonen because he scores big goals. These guys playing today?
Yeah, he does. He's such a big game player and competitive player. Like I said, if he wasn't getting any scoring chances, and then that's a different story. But he's been racking up scoring chances on a nightly basis, and it's a matter of time for him, and seems to come through in big moments all the time, and tonight was no different to get that first one.
Eric and Corey.
It felt like every time you guys had a big goal, there was a save from Blackwood at the other end. Just what did you think of his game overall, and especially in those clutch moments?
I thought he was outstanding. Yeah, I did, because I thought we were doing a really good job 5-on-5 on the defensive side of it. Certainly we have some things we can clean up, but I think their power play and the way they attack the net and get around the net, it gets super dangerous. We had a couple failed clears on our penalty kill that led to some chances against, and they're grade A chances, and we're trying to do the right things net front, but bouncing pucks, lots of bodies there, and they came up with a few of them and put them on net, and Blackie was huge. So he allows us to keep the game at 0-0, and we had our chances too, and Ottinger did the same thing. But that was a big first playoff game for him, no question.
Corey, then Pierre.
Before the game, you said you needed to attack the middle of the ice, and great having him. How did you feel that one?
You're not going to score from on the perimeter. You just and same thing with our guy. If you want to score goals, you got to get to the interior of the ice, and you got to get there repeatedly, because they're good goalies on both sides of it. So, I mean, obviously that's the goal of every team, not just to sit on the perimeter and shoot pucks. So I thought we did a nice job. We got to some rebounds. We created some good looks, both off the rush and 5-on-5 in zone. It's a tight checking game. It's highly competitive in every battle, every race. And so the amount you get there is not going to be the same as a Tuesday night in November, regular season. It's going to be harder. So the competitive spirit of your team has to go up, and I thought it was up tonight, and we created enough looks to win the hockey game.
Pierre, then Evan.
Just adding to your comments on Mackenzie Blackwood, it's pretty rare for a team to swap out the entire tandem mid-season, as you guys did, and how impactful were those moves from Chris McFarland, and where would you guys be without that?
I can't say enough about the moves that he made, like to sort of revamp our team. We came back with a lot of the same guys, and we were banged up early in the season, and we got to look at our guys going into this season and what we liked and what we didn't like, and I feel like as a coach we're like really lucky because we revamped the most major parts of our lineup. The two goalies right away, straight down the middle of the ice when you get Drury, Coyle, and Nelson, and added some grit and determination on the back end and Lindgren, and like all the pieces, including depth pieces that we added, serve a purpose. And so they put us in the best. It's never easy winning regular season. Playoffs, it gets even harder every single round, and I think that they've put us in the best possible chance to succeed, that we feel like we have a good team, and it's up to us now to go play our best hockey for 2 weeks at a time, as far as you can possibly go, and try to reward the organization for giving us those players.
Evan, then Megan.
How big of a difference did it make against a big team like this to have Josh Manson and Ryan Lindgren back in the help?
It's huge. Like, they're a tough team to contain on the defensive side of it. It's not just their size, it's the way they play. It's experienced guys that buy into the defending side of things, and I thought our team did a nice job of that. But those are two guys on the back end that obviously we lean on heavily, and it was really good to get them back and healthy here, because we missed some time with both of those guys here recently.
Megan.
Similar to that, you had options to run up bottom of the decor, and he played a lesser role in Philly. What made you choose Eric Johnson tonight?
Veteran guy that's excited to be back. I like the juice and energy that he brings to our team. I also like the size and the penalty killing ability that he brings. Like, you're talking about, might be a smaller role when it comes to ice time, but it's still a big role that he fills for us, and so we decided to go with the more experienced guy tonight in EJ, and because of some of the things that I think he's really strong at.
A few last ones, Eric.
Ross Colton left the game early. Do you have an update on his status?
I do not. Lower body, left the game. We'll see what tomorrow brings.
One more, Jesse.
Just wanted your thoughts overall on Nate's night tonight. He takes that high stick and has a exchange with the ref, results in a double minor. You guys capitalize on that power play. Just your thoughts on him and kind of being that emotional heartbeat of this group.
He was really good tonight. It's obviously they're going to key on him like we do on some of their players, and but really strong defensive game from him, and obviously his get up and go on the offensive side of it. He was making plays all night. I thought that line was dangerous. I thought Marty had a good night. It's hard to complain about any of the guys' effort, the way they competed, and some of the things they did on the ice. I thought we played a really solid game, and obviously that was led by Nate.
Great, thank you, Jared.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll have Mackenzie Blackwood shortly.
You heard the man having Mackenzie Blackwood shortly. Do we have him? Are we good to go? All right. Let's just listen to the man and play Mackenzie Blackwood and Devon Toews. Oh, good call. Good call. All right. You guys actually broke 300, so we have to go do another one. But thank you guys so much for showing up. 850 of you in here for the first playoff win for the Avs. We love y'all. Stuff's amazing. Dr. Dubs, get it.
Okay, questions for Mackenzie Blackwood and Devon Toews. Right here, Nick.
Mackenzie, when you've played 200-something games in this league and you're waiting for that first playoff game, what was the day like for you? What was the day like? What was the game like?
It was pretty special. I've been waiting to play in the playoffs for a long time, and it was great to finally get my first one.
Jesse?
Mackenzie, both Jared and some of your teammates talked about the fact that a lot of the offense seemed like it came right after big saves from you. How nice is it as a goaltender you come up with those big saves and get the immediate goal support?
It's great. Yeah, it makes them a little bit more rewarding.
Eric? Yvonne, not just on the goal that you guys connected on, but having Josh Manson back in the lineup this time of year, just what does he bring?
Yeah, I mean, Mance and Lindy, getting both those guys on the back end is huge. Just the calmness, the presence that they bring, and the physicality they bring, and the puck moving ability. It just kind of rounds our group out back there, and we feel really solid with the 6 guys we're playing. The guys we don't have playing tonight, we feel solid with them too. But we're happy to have these guys healthy and back. And Mance's puck moving, his ability to jump up in the rush and play hard minutes for us is huge.
Here.
Mackenzie, what makes someone like you sign a 5-year extension 3 weeks after joining a new team? A trade sometimes can be jarring, it can be unsettling, but it seems like it did quite the opposite for you.
Yeah, I mean, came to Colorado, good team, good people, felt it right away, and they offered me a great contract, so I mean, seems like the perfect storm.
Mark?
For Mackenzie, Nathan MacKinnon was saluting you by basically saying how calm you were and it's just hockey. In this situation, was it just hockey for you? How slow was your heartbeat or how fast was your heartbeat?
Yeah, I mean, the way I approached the game today was the same. Obviously a little bit more intensity, you could feel it around the rink, but I mean, you have to go do the same job. I don't want to change things about my game. I know what I have to do to have success, so try to just approach it like a big game and, go do the best I could.
Okay, thank you guys, appreciate it.
Just like that. More shots, more likes. It's that easy. Blackwood, I love the calmness. E rather, you talked about it. It's good stuff, just like Dr. Dubs. Okay. E, let me ask you this. Are those extra goals important? Is it important for Nathan MacKinnon to pick up an empty netter? But more so, is it important for a guy like Jack Drury or Charlie Coyle to get on the score sheet?
It is. I tell you all the time. That's how you feel good in hockey, right? We talked a little bit after the second period on the back check or by Charlie Coyle, right? Those things don't show up on the score sheet.
True.
But goals and assists do. Even though you're not asked to do that, Logie O'Connor can go to bed tonight. He was the mayor of Denver, listening to kickbacks. And then he can say, I got 2 apples tonight, buddy. I got 2 apples. You know what I mean? And that's
pretty good.
You get 2 apples in the National Hockey League game. You know what I mean? Like, you've done something pretty good. So Charlie Coyle, he's been awesome since he's been here.
Absolutely.
I don't care that it's a
the
nothing
last
burger
7-8 games were outrageous from him.
It puts a 1 next to your name instead of a bagel, right?
Yep.
It makes a difference to Mac. He gets 2 goals tonight. No one's going to ask, was it an empty net? You know what I mean? But it makes a difference. You get cookies. I like cookies at night. Milk and cookies.
I do like
buddy.
cookies too.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with cookies.
I like cookies. Everybody likes cookies.
That's true. I can't deny that.
Yep.
I do think it is important when you look around the Avs lineup. 4 of their 6 defensemen had a point tonight.
Boom, boom.
And when you look at their forward core, let's see how many. 1, 2, 3. Is it really only 3? Yeah, 9 of their 12 forwards had a point tonight. And one of the forwards that didn't have a point was Colton, who got hurt.
Nelson?
It was Colton, Kiviranta, and Nichushkin. And it was 8 of 12. My bad.
The cat's waiting.
Yeah.
Meow.
So still 8 of 12. That's depth.
It is.
I really don't know how much more you can ask of the Avs' depth tonight. And obviously, again, when you go individually, you can find things. But as a team, top to bottom, the Avs going to win a lot of games if they play like they did tonight.
And I told you, they got a few extra gears to get to. So
I think 1. I don't know if about a few, but 1 for
and
sure.
Dallas is another gear too.
Of course.
I mean,
of course
Dallas is another gear. We all know that's a good team.
They
I
scored,
know.
You can't go into every game expecting them to score 0 5-on-5 goals.
No.
Come on.
I know Merrill's not playing and Robertson, but there's some good players there.
Yeah.
Marchment was really good. I liked his intensity. I liked he was engaged in the game. So the Dallas Stars have another gear, and maybe we're going to see both teams with that next year. But you can expect, like, as good as this game was, an even better one for game 2.
All right, let's get to your super chats. A bunch of them today. We appreciate you all so very much. We got $20 from Banks, who says, I was not nervous before the game, and after the first, I was at 300 beats per minute. Defensive structure looks really good, though. Gameplay did not reflect 5-1 score. Thoughts on Marty tonight? Really wanted to see more from him. A couple of things there. Yeah, I think a 3-1 score is more realistic. You have an empty netter and a meaningless goal at the end. The Avs defense, where I want to give the Avs defense a ton of credit, their neutral zone was amazing in this game. They broke up so much stuff in the neutral zone. It was hard for Dallas to even get in to play offense in the first place. That was the A++ part of their game for me. Forwards and defense both so good between the blue lines.
Yeah. I mean, I can't add anything to that. It was perfect.
The Natchez, I really didn't like Natchez's game very much tonight. Again, take it in context. I know everyone on Twitter is mad at me because I said Natchez isn't beating the allegations. I don't think Natchez was bad, but I do think you saw the type of decision making that does not work in the playoffs from him.
Yeah. But what I liked is he had his legs.
His legs were going 100%.
You noticed him
and
on
he
the
picked
screen.
up a point. It's on Lecky's nonsense goal as a secondary. So
but you noticed him. And I saw him get physical in the corner.
Yep.
He had a big hit there. It goes a long way with the fellas. I liked his legs. I think he's one of those guys that can bring it up a notch, meaning like with his puck abilities, that we didn't really get to see tonight. We saw his legs abilities, like his skating ability. If he puts it all together, which I think he will, he's going to have an outstanding game 2.
Not worried about him. I just think you saw the adjustment to the playoffs for him is what I expected, and that's kind of what you saw.
Yep.
All right. What do we got next? $2 from RC Cola saying, great win, but remember VGK 2021 Game 1, Avs 7-1 win. Absolutely. Series isn't over until you win it. The hardest one to win is the fourth one. Don't get ahead of yourselves. It's one game at a time.
And trust me, that locker room knows. We say it here all the time. Not too high, not too low.
Yep.
So
the Jared Bednar stern reflection.
It is.
Dead pan till the series is over. James with the 279 saying Makar gets 2 goals next game, shoots low glove. He's got to hit the net. He's got to do a better job of hitting the net. A lot of high shots tonight. Again, it's Cale Makar. Anyone who's worried about him is fooling themselves. He'll be just fine, but there's more there for him. Absolutely. $10 from KRS says, wow, keep this up. Despite this win, Call had a few stars capable of giving more next game. What a way to begin this journey. Yeah, I think pretty much just talked about Natchez and Cale right there. So, yep, makes sense perfectly. You nailed it. $2 from RCO Ray. Thank you very much. And then you added another 2 to tell us, I'm going to tell my kids this is tenacious DNVR. I'll take it. What's the thing from the Jack Black was just in the Minecraft movie? Chicken Jockey or whatever? I don't know anything about Minecraft, so I don't know. It's beyond me. $10 more from Banks saying another one because vibes and love beating Dallas. Plus, so much love for everything y'all do. Holy cow, McKenzie. Trust him to continue. Yeah, you're riding that. Certainly is. McKenzie's the man. Look, I know there were some people that wanted to stir up the controversy at the end of the season, and Wedgwood had played great at the end of the season, but McKenzie was always the starter, and a start like that just bought McKenzie the rest of the playoffs, probably.
Certainly,
yeah.
As the Walrus usually says, you seriously could trust a fart tonight with McKenzie in the net.
I don't know about that, but you'll take what you can get. 14 from the Incredible Drew saying, I wonder if DLS still thinks our bottom 6 are scrubs, LOL. Mayorwood forever. 6 more years of Mayor LLC, so he's going to be around for a while. Yeah. I do think on paper, Dallas's depth should be better than the Avs' depth. I really do think that. But tonight, that was not the case. The Avs' depth showed up, balled out, and dominated. I loved it. $5 from Kyle, who says, what's the plan for Landeskog? Will he start game 2 or 3? And if so, should he be on the 4th or 3rd line to settle in or start him on the 2nd line? I definitely think you'd start him in the bottom 6 for sure. We don't know, to be honest with you. He could start game 2. He could start game 3. He could start game 6. We don't know. And the Avs aren't going to tell us.
No.
That's the reality of the situation. Again, I truly do believe he will play in this series at some point. I thought it was going to be game 1, and I was wrong about that. So he's going to play when he's going to play. But I do expect it to be in the bottom 6.
Totally agree with that.
Heading into overtime. Bye, TV. We love you. Go to the DNVR.com. All right. And then $2 more from Banks that says, Rudo's lettuce deserves a third SC. I don't know what SC means.
Stanley Cup.
Oh, okay.
4th.
Yeah, it would be the 4th, yeah. Does it look better because I shaved? Is that it puts highlights my
I wouldn't
my
use the word
bangs a
better.
little bit more? Is that what it?
I wouldn't use the word better.
You right. You definitely right.
We both look like morons.
I know. The beard can't come back
shaved.
fast
oh
enough.
My God, who are those two dudes? It's a little preference, right? We'll see what happens.
Hey, hopefully the beard gets long. That's the game plan, right? Outside of the Colton injury, you really can't start this series that much better than what the Avs did tonight. They went out and accomplished exactly what you wanted them to do. And they did it in a way that, one, I believe there's a lot of sustainability to the way they played. And two, you know that there are some guys that have more in the tank. So confidence abound in the Colorado Avalanche. Any final thoughts on this game before we get out of here?
Winning cures everything. So it's so nice because that day tomorrow, as much as you don't want to be too high and too low, when you have a win, it just makes it so much easier because you don't have to fight it's not that bad. It's not that bad. No, winning is so contagious. It's so nice. So it makes a big difference tomorrow. But again, they have the group, they have the coaches to know that this is only one game and to be ready for a better Dallas Stars team for game 2.
You know, I did say there were 4 Avalanche forwards that didn't score a point, but I'm wrong. There's a 5th one. Mikko Rantanen.
Oh, God. That was funny.
Avs did a good job of giving him nothing. He was not super noticeable tonight. A great job shutting him down. Credit where credit is due. The Avs have set themselves up for success. It's one game at a time. They still got to go out and do it in the next one, but they put themselves in the driver's seat of this series. That's going to be it for us. We are off tomorrow, but there will be, of course, post-game things, my review, AJ's pieces. All of Justin's pressers are up on YouTube already, I think, or they're on their way if they're not up. So go check those out. We are out of here, though. We'll be back Monday with another playoff game. Oh, I love this time of year. It's the best. This has been the DNVR Avalanche post-game show presented by Bet365.
We all silly like the mayor.